All right, hey everyone. I've got the assignment six description here for you. I wanted to go ahead and walk you through this as it's a little bit more involved than some of the other assignments. So in assignment six, actually you can work in pairs or individually, I don't mind. You're going to create a dialogue system or a chatbot of sorts. And this system can fulfill a real life need, such as having a library chatbot. And actually, Parks Library or I think the registrar's office just got a chat bot in English and in Spanish recently. So you can fulfill a real life need like that, or a different purpose, like if you are familiar with Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Tom Riddle's Diary, you could create something like that, maybe a little bit more involved, something along those lines. So to create this dialogue system, you're going to use JavaScript. And before you freak out, just know that I'll give you everything that you need, and the rest is going to be fairly easy. And given that you've done free code camp this semester, you've already got some experience with JavaScript. So it shouldn't be anything too rough, I don't think. So, and then in addition to that, you're also going to do a brief write-up. Nothing crazy, like less than a page, single spaced. So just tell who the system is designed for, what its purpose is, a few sentences total, some strengths of your design, and also some weaknesses of your design. And then if you had more time, knowledge, etc., you can talk about what you could do to remedy some of those weaknesses. So that is the overview of what assignment six is all about. It's just creating a chatbot and doing a brief write-up over it. Here are some memes that I found that are relevant. People think that programming is very tough and like lots of ones and zeros, but in reality, 90% of the time, it's just like you trying to figure out the problem, and it's kind of funny. And also this idea of artificial intelligence from Scooby Doo is just a bunch of if-else statements under the hood. I mean, the really intelligent AIs are much more than that, but at the very base of it, it's just if-else statements is a really good start. And that's everything that you guys will be doing. It's just a bunch of if-else statements. Pretty easy. So in terms of what you guys need to know in order to, can I get rid of this? Yes. In order to um, create your dialogue systems in JavaScript. So you're going to need to know how to do a prompt. So you'll use the word prompt, parentheses around it with semicolon, and then something inside of it like, what is your name? And this is a way for the computer to ask the user a question. And then, and so that's, at that point, there'll be a kind of a prompt on the computer screen asking you, what is your name? And you can type in a response. Then, so actually it's going to be a little bit more complex than that. You're actually going to also store whatever you type in into a variable. This variable is going to be called response. And then what you can do with that is you can do your if-else statements. So like if a particular condition is met, then you'll be able to do something. If you remember from one of our first free code camp tasks, these two slash marks are a comment. So you can put a comment there for a human to read. So then a little bit more complex than that, you can have your if condition and then an else statement. So like if the user types in to the prompt of what is your name, if they type in Brody, then I can do one thing. Otherwise, I can do something different. And then on top of that, you can have, if the user types in Brody, do one thing. Else if the user types in Mark, I don't know, another name, then you can do something else. And then your kind of default else statement for all other options that you didn't catch. And then so I've kind of abbreviated that to your if else statements that you've learned through free code camp. Then you're going to do a bunch of regexes. And so these will be the conditions inside your if else statements. So you'll just use the test method of reg expressions in JavaScript. So you put literally the word response, literally that inside the parentheses, and then you'll put a regex here. So like I might put brody dot test response to see if the user typed in Brody. And then remember, you can also do comments with the two slashes. So I'm going to show you guys a full example of how to create this. So don't worry if this doesn't make a whole lot of sense just yet. So before you write any code, though, I do highly, highly recommend that you do something of a flow chart. And so this is something that good programmers do, whether it's an actual real flow chart or just something you scribble down on paper, whatever it is. Write down your thought process to conceptualize a task before you ever write any code. So this is something that I'm actually doing for one of my um, programming projects right now. Is I'm writing down a to-do list of everything I'm going to do and what I'm going to need to do at each spot in the project before I write any code. So it's a very good thing to do before you start writing code. So in this example, if the lamp doesn't work, check if it's plugged in. If no, plug it in. If yes, check that the bulb is burned out. If yes, replace that bulb. Otherwise, repair the lamp. So you can write out something like this, however you want to, just conceptualize the task before you start writing the code. And then I won't walk you guys through this, but if you want to kind of take a look at this, this is a flow chart for a really simple kind of stupid chatbot that I wrote at one point in time as a demonstration of how to write your own chatbots. So, if you want to make something along these lines, then you can look through this flowchart. How do I exit this PowerPoint? Like this. Okay. So the way that you guys are going to do your chatbots is rather than doing them in HTML files like I had students doing last semester, I figured I'll just have you do them through JS Fiddle. JS Fiddle is this online interface where you can actually write in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript code. I don't think it's necessary for you guys to do it in HTML and CSS. You can make it pretty if you want to, if you want that extra challenge, but you don't have to. All you need to do is this, the JavaScript portion. And so I think currently I'm logged in under my personal email. So what I'm going to do is, and I didn't want to do this ahead of time because I wanted to show how it's actually going to look when you guys do it for the first time. So I'm going to open up an incognito window and go into jsfiddle.net so that I'm logged out. So this is essentially what you guys will do, but you don't have to go into incognito. I just don't want to be signed in. So you will click, you'll need to create an account so you can save all your work. You'll click sign in, and then let's see. So I need to sign up, and then you'll create an account. So my username might be, I don't know, btdingle LING120. And you can put whatever username you like in here. I just need to make sure that's not taken. And then I'll do btdingle@istate.edu, and then I'll type in a password, something like that. Create an account. I hope that this goes through. Let's see here. So I want to show what this will look like for you guys in real time. So you also get this, it'll ask you to, if you want to start up with a boilerplate, you don't have to, just click close. And so then what you'll want to do, I'll go back to my original fiddle. So I will give you guys this link, which is the link to all this code template that I wrote for you. So you copy this, I just copied it. I'm gonna go back to this incognito window where I just signed in with my brand new account like you guys will do. And I'm going to paste that in here. Go. And then it's going to ask me for an initial prompt. Just type in the letters STOP, and I programmed it to do that. So just type that in, it'll stop. And then currently I'm logged in, I think. Yeah, I'm logged into my own personal btdingle@istate account. Maybe. I don't know, I'm logged into some account. And you'll click fork. Good. There we go. Yeah, you'll click fork, and then this created a brand new file under my own brand new account with this code that I copied from the boilerplate that I wrote on my other account, right? So back in incognito. And now I've got my own brand new code under my brand new account. So yes, so then you guys will be able to take this and you can take these and move that up and move this over so you have more room here. So now I'll show you what this code does and what you'll need to do with it. So this is exactly what you guys will do. You can type in the name of the fiddle, description, all that stuff if you want to. If you want to work in pairs, you can find a way to share this with a friend. So this is a function, and the function is called respond, and it takes one parameter of response. So then down below, I actually started off the code by running this function, and I ran it with prompt of add your initial prompt here. And so the first thing you will want to do is, let's say I want to create a chatbot for LING120. So I might say, welcome to LING120. Welcome to the LING120 chatbot. What is your name? Question mark. So this will be your the very first thing that will pop up when you enter the chatbot. So I'll click run here, and it will save automatically along the way. You'll see this actually in the URL. This 1 is actually version number 2. Version number 1 was 0. So I'll click run, and it does say, welcome to LING120 chatbot. What is your name? I can type in anything I want here, like Brody, and then currently it does nothing, which is really strange, actually. I didn't expect it to do that. Hopefully that doesn't cause any big problems, but we will see. So put whatever you want in here. This is your first prompt, and it will only show up the one time. Then you will enter into this this function, and so don't change this block of code right here. This if response equals stop. This is a way for if you mess up somehow and they get the code running over and over and over again forever, then you can just type in stop and it will exit the code for you. So it's kind of a fail-safe that I programmed in there for you. Also, don't change this. This is what allows your code to continue to run after each different things. So then this is where you will insert all your code, where I put change starting here. So let's say I want to do a LING120 chatbot, and the first question is, what is your name? I want to ask, I want to have some conditions of if the person's the instructor versus if they're a student, for example. So remember, looking back at the PowerPoint, you'll do your if else conditions, and you'll test those with regular expressions. So I might say if, and then I'll do parentheses. Notice that all I had to type in was the left parenthesis, and it created both the left and right parentheses for me. That's a really nice thing about JS Fiddle, whereas some other editors don't do that. So you're welcome to use another editor if you want to, but JS Fiddle helps you in this way. You don't have to remember to type in the right parenthesis. So if, now, whatever I typed into this prompt, what is your name, that goes in here to response. It's stored in this variable parameter called response. So I can say if maybe brody with capital B dot test, and then response, right? This response, it should be whatever I type in to this. So if I test capital B RODY on response, and it turns out to be true, then type in my curly brackets, hit enter, maybe a tab. Actually, let's not tab, make it ugly for a moment. I might say alert, great, exclamation point. You are the instructor. And then maybe I'll say else, hit enter, and then I can alert, oh, you're just a student. Just to be funny here, try to be funny. So we'll also notice that this code is a little bit ugly. The indentations aren't right. So you can click tidy over here. It'll make it much more pretty for you. Also, let's say I forget something like that, parenthesis, it'll start showing all these red circles on the sides. This shows you that something is wrong. Your code probably is not going to work, and you need to fix something. If I hover over this red circle, expected a parenthesis and saw a curly bracket instead. So maybe you're missing a parenthesis, and sure enough, you are. Also, you've got an unmatched curly bracket. That's also because of this. So you got a few different clues, and you can try to look through what parenthesis or what curly bracket you're missing. But again, when you type in these parentheses or these curly brackets, it creates header for you, so it shouldn't be too bad. So Let's see if this works. Hopefully it does. Run. Welcome to 120 chatbot. What is your name? B-R-O-D-Y. Great, you're the instructor. Great, you're the instructor. Great, you're the instructor. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, so then, oh no. Okay, I actually need to refresh the page. So this is good actually. I can show you what to do if you likewise mess up. So I'm going to refresh the page because I got stuck in kind of an eternal loop. Let's see. Yeah, go ahead and apply those changes. Yeah, so I think I put back in that left parenthesis. So I suggest that you guys don't ever use alerts because it results in things like that happening. If you're interested in why it broke, go ahead and feel free to email me. I'll explain it to you. I think most people won't care why it broke. So, but I'm happy to let me know if you are interested. So I suggest that you do use prompts instead of alerts. Alerts are just when the computer, tells you something. It doesn't ask your opinion or for a response. So you can say response equals. So this redefines, not redefines, but puts a new value into the response variable. And so the computer's going to prompt me, oh, you're just a student. It'll put my response into here. Similarly, I'll make this into a prompt. And then I'll say response equals. So response equals prompt, response equals prompt. So by the end of this, if I've done everything right, I'm expecting to see this prompt. And then it should, if I type in capital B R-O-D-Y, it should tell me, great, you're the instructor. And then I'll be able to type in something else. And then it'll continue. And as long as I don't type in this again, it should prompt me with this. Let's see if that's what happens. I might have messed up. So capital B R-O-D-Y, okay. Yes, I am. Oh, you're just a student. Perfect. Okay. Now at this point, you can type in anything you want and it'll just keep telling me that I'm a student, unless I say stop. Right, this is the fail-safe that I programmed in for you. So now we've got a simple chatbot. We can make this much more complex. So let's do maybe in, let's see, we want to make this, we want to make an else if. And we'll put some those in there. Yeah. So let's tidy this up. See if this. So else if, it's going to get kind of messy here for a second, but you'll see what I'm doing, I think. Else if, B-R-O-D-Y, let's say I don't capitalize it, .test response. I'll enter here. There, now it looks much more pretty, right? And if I click tidy, yeah, it's already tidy. I can say response equals prompt of, I'll say the same thing here. Good. So now it should be the case that if I say capital Brody or else if lowercase Brody, then it will tell me either of these two, and otherwise it will tell me, oh, you're just a student. Let's see if that works. Run. Brody, great, you're the instructor. Yes. Oh, you're a student. Yes. I think if I type in lowercase Brody, it should tell me you're the instructor. Yes, in fact, it does, because yeah, it just keeps looping around. So, but we don't really need this this complexity with capital and lowercase, right? We can do, you guys remember your regular expressions. You can do like this. Remember, capital B or lowercase b, either of those two followed by lowercase o or R-O-D-Y. So you can do that, and then just completely, let's see. So this left bracket matches up to this bracket. So I can delete all of that and also delete the full else if statement. Yeah, there we go. So I can do that. Alternatively, I can also type in, just put in the I flag. This is a case insensitive flag. So I can type in any capital versus lowercase letters and it's not going to care. Let's run and see if that works. Great, you're the instructor. Perfect. Good. So I can stop. So yeah, I can put the I flag in there. When we did the regular expressions assignments on my course website, remember we had the /G at the end of everything. That's a global flag. This is the case insensitivity flag. And really what we're just doing is we're searching. We're not doing any replacing. So let's see. Good. Maybe we can do, let's make it a little bit more complex now. So let's say my chatbot doesn't care about the instructor. Let's see, I can say, go away. It doesn't care about the instructor. It just wants to help students. Oh, you're a student. What do you need help with? Help with, question mark. And I can say, so now I'll do brand new if else statements. If, I'll do a dot test with my response. It's all grayed out right now for the moment because I haven't put anything in my regular expression, and that's throws it off. It expects at least something. So maybe maybe I'm looking for something about exams. I'll make that case insensitive. So if they say something about an exam, and note that it's a regular expression. So even if I say exams or examinations, it'll still match EXAM because it's just testing the whole string. So I can do this. I'll put a comment in here. I'll deal with this later. Deal with exams. Else if dot test response, maybe something about do. Like if somebody asks, if a student asks me if maybe like extension. Maybe the student wants to know if they can have an extension on something. And then I'll say deal with extensions. We'll do one more. Maybe an else, kind of a catch-all. Deal with all others. So then, again, here I'll say response equals prompt. You have a question about the final exam, question mark, and then I can do the same thing. I can make some conditions for yes or no, and if it's no, then maybe I can ask about the midterm exam. I can keep going from there. Extensions, I can maybe say response equals prompt. Sorry, no extensions are needed, which is not the case. I'm happy to grant extensions if you guys need them. If there's good reason for it, just let me know. Obviously, like always. But just for fun here. Sorry, no extensions. Maybe a brownie face, and yeah, just one of the parentheses. Good. Good. These semicolons in this context are actually really not necessary. Yeah, you can have them in there. And then maybe you can have a catch-all. Response equals prompt what? Good. So I think this should work. You can always test things out by clicking tidy, and if things don't change, or you don't have any red circles over here, things like that, things are probably okay. Click run. What's your name? Brody. Great, you're the instructor, go away. And then, of course, this is a problem with the logic, right? So theoretically, I should, actually, let's go ahead and do this. Let me click stop. So maybe let's say you want to end the conversation. You can do return false. This will end the conversation. It'll break out of the function and nothing else will happen. Let's go ahead and run this again. What's your name? Brody. Great, you're the instructor, go away. Why? And it just breaks. If I say anything else, what's your name? I don't know, Mark. There's no Mark in the class. So, oh, you're a student. What do you need help with? Oh, I must have accidentally pressed the return button or something. I think the page is actually being finicky. So this is, yeah, it's just being kind of buggy, unfortunately. You're a student, what do you need help with? When is the final exam? Question mark. You have a question about the final exam? Yes. And then, so at this point, I'll do stop. At this point, yeah, you might have to do it a couple times because they'll go through the rest of the conditionals. At this point, I would need to have more if else statements. So for your chatbots, I'll upload some requirements for how many different kind of scenarios you need to have, and how many what's the word, interactions, how many kind of back and forths you guys will need to have in your chatbots for the assignments. But otherwise, that's pretty much everything. Again, don't mess with the stuff that you shouldn't mess with, especially this. I actually had some issues as I was trying to figure out how to do this on JS Fiddle, and I hadn't put this in there yet, and it's just kept rerunning, and I literally couldn't do anything. I had to start a brand new fiddle, just do the way the interface is done, or maybe I'm just not smart enough to figure it out. But either way, don't mess with this, and life will be easier. And then when you are done, when you'd like to submit the assignment, all you have to do is copy this. I'm gonna open up a brand new incognito just to see if it really truly works. Click enter. So this is again under my, I can say stop. Under my btdingle_ling120, the account you guys saw me create on the spot during this video. And sure enough, it's right here. So I will be able to see your fiddle. If you ever have any questions, you can just share your fiddle with me, share this link with me, and I'll be able to help you out with it, fix bracket issues if that's the problem, or just provide other general feedback if we need to meet on Zoom, things like that. So I'll close out of this, close out of this. Again, it'll be this link that you guys will use as your template. And if you have any questions, feel free to let me know via email. All right, that's all for everything for assignment 6. Let me know if you have questions, and have fun with this. This can be a really fun assignment. The students last semester said that this was one of the more fun assignments out of everything in the course. So have fun with this, and yeah, see you next time. First, how do I stop recording? I click, there we go. Okay, now I'll see you next time.